off their man and things. So, yeah, I think he's going to be a big loss down there for Rovers because he really does tie that back line together. Another interesting change for Brigades out of last week's team is young Rama Evans, who's been really good all year. Played really well down at the Country Colts Championships. He's out of today's game, and Keegan Cross has come in.
Yes.
And we know that Keegan can give them a little bit of something different up forward as well, but I think Rama's one who can run through the middle, can play a number of positions, so he's going to be a big out for them today.
Toss of the coin, and Gabriel Parfitt has won the toss for the Rovers side. The captain for today is Gabriel, and at the other end of the ground, the captain is Dylan Ralph, and Rovers have won the toss, and Rovers will kick to the airport end. So Rovers have got the, well, it's not really a breeze of any consequence, as we mentioned, it's blowing across the ground, but if it is favouring any end, it probably is the airport end. It's hard to judge. It seems to be blowing
usually
across.
Is the sort of scoring end here at Greenock Oval, for sure.
Okay, so Rovers will have first use of the breeze, and of course Sandra Carr, MLC, the GNFL umpires, and they are the experienced Paul Luxton, Robert Bennett and Theo Bennett in control this afternoon. And as you said, Murray, right at the very beginning, the sun is shining, everything's setting itself up to be a real finals type day. And just looking around, there looks to be, well, there's not many car parks, so I'd say it's a pretty good crowd for a second semi-final. Invariably, the first semi and the preliminary final are big crowds, and of course the grand final is the biggest crowd. But in finals runs, second semi-final, not necessarily the biggest crowd, but it looks like a pretty handy crowd here at Daimler Truck Greenock Oval this afternoon. Yeah,
I went for a walk down past the club rooms, and then there's quite a few people sitting out the front of there, and a real mix of clubs here watching the game today as well. So,
and that's probably helped because we've had a mix of clubs throughout the day, and that's always the way it happens, of course.
That's right. So quite a few that have played in early games today are hanging around to watch this one, as well as the Rovers and Brigades crowd.
Well, it certainly is a beautiful day for football. Only a minute or so away from the start of the big one this afternoon, the second semi-final of the GNFL Community Bank Premiership season on Drennan O'Malley Motors Game Day. Glenn Barton with you, along with Murray Gardner and Matthew Paddock, as we call the action. And it should be a very, very entertaining game of footy. These sides have played each other twice this year, and it has been 6 points, well, 5 points, I think, in both games, the margin. So not much in it. So very, very tight. In both contests, it has been win to Rovers, naturally enough, because they're undefeated, but nothing in it. Umpire Robert Bennett holds the ball aloft. We're about to get this big one underway this afternoon, and we're underway in the second semi-final of 2026. And it comes the way of Rovers now, cleaned out through Daniels. Daniels gets it up towards half forward, looking out there for the hard-running Kevin Sealander. Sealander goes back into it, so too does Kane Simpson. Ball spills, goes to Rovers, picked up now by Azevedo. Comes back to Brigades, and Brigades are out of trouble now as they run through the centre with Dylan Ralph. Dylan Ralph picks it up towards half forward, finds Matthew Thompson. Matthew Thompson with the ball. 65 metres out from goal, plays on with a short pass up towards half forward, and a good mark taken there by the Brigades player in Clay Simpler, is it?
No, it's Ahmet Watkins.
Ahmet Watkins, yes, Ahmet Watkins. Hassan, who had a pretty quiet game last week after kicking 15 the week before. Hassan Ahmet Watkins, the key forward for the Hawks, deep in the pocket, just in front of the Rover club rooms here at Daimler Truck Greenock Oval. An important kick from Hassan. He's a confidence player, and he'll love to kick a goal first up, and he has. A beautiful goal from the boundary line, the first minute of play in the Gerald Community Bank term. And looking at the scoreboard for Midwest Wind Farms this afternoon, first score on the board, and it goes to Brigades. Brigades go to 1 goal straight, 6, and Rovers yet to score.
Yeah, that turnover from Azevedo turning back into the middle, sort of mishit his kick, cleaned up by Brigades, and then you give Dylan Ralph a run through the middle.
Easy run too, wasn't it?
Yeah, and then you had both Thompson and Ahmet Watkins pushing up at him and leading at him, so a nice little bit of play and a beautiful finish by Ahmet Watkins from that pocket too.
That'll give those two players a lot of confidence and the team a lot of confidence. The last time they were here, it took them a while for them to get a score on the board, so that'll hold them well.
Back in the middle now. Up they go, the ruckman that comes through. Dylan Ralph again, first at the ball. Jumps in on it, tied in there by Daniels, and we're going to have a ball up just on centre wing, not far from the middle. Johnson and Tazewell up in the ruck. Going to be a good battle. Through comes out of Azevedo. Nice little handball out. Comes through to Daniels. He looks forward, but well picked off there by Castleton across half back. He plays that role beautifully. He comes wide out now towards Lewin Valley on the wing. Cross half back. Looking for Lucas Ronan. Centre wing. Takes that. He's looking to go, but held up by Azevedo. Goes short now, looking for Keegan Cross. Guy into the team, replacing young Evans. He's looking middle, looking for options. Not a lot of movement up forward. He's going to have to go long. Goes long now, looking for Armat Watkins. He's got a couple on him though. Comes over the back. Armat Watkins looks like his first back onto the play. He's been harassed there by Bo Simpson. Armat Watkins grabs it though, whacks it on the boot across the face. And Rovers are going to clear this out. They go long out to the other side.
Goes the way of the player there, and Chris Scott gets the ball out towards the centre wing on the far side. And, of course, that's where the coaches' box are. We're on the Hallwood Road side calling the footy these days from Daimler Truck Greenock Oval. Boundary umpire to put the ball back into play. So the ball will be thrown in just in front of the Brigades' coaches' bench. And the time box says it's 3.5 minutes gone in this first term, with thanks to Geraldton Community Bank. Goes the way of a Brigades player, has the ball held to him, and the umpire will come and throw the ball up. Umpires this afternoon for Sandra Carr, MLC. GNFL umpires, Paul Luxon, Robert Bennett, Theo Bennett, plenty of experience there. Ball comes out to Brigades, comes back to Rovers. Rovers through Eastoff, get it the way of Sealander. Comes back to Brigades, and the player there in Ralph gets a big kick up towards half forward. In goes the hard-running player there for Brigades, trying to get the ball forward. Cregan Cross comes back towards Brigades. They shoot on goal, and not a bad effort there from Hassan Ahmed, but he was across the face for a 1 point only. So on the scoreboard for Midwest Wind Farms, it is Brigades 1-1-7. Rovers yet to score. And Matty Paddock, an interesting start to this contest.
Yeah, it's been quite free-flowing footy so far from both sides, whether it be a turnover or whether it be just good skills. It seems as though usually, or in my experience with these type of games, as we have a lasso call there, so Brigades will be able to rebound. Usually it's pretty contested, so just both teams feeling each other out at the moment.
James Hagan gets the ball on towards Clay Sipler. Clay Sipler for the Brigade side, kicks it up towards half forward, but Rovers are there, and the defender in Blake Tazewell, the vice-captain, kicks it back out towards centre wing, looking out there for some run. And once again, Brigades pick it up, and a good bit of play from the Brigades player there in Lewin Valley, gets it up forward, and a good mark from the Brigades youngster, who's marked deep in the pocket. And is that
Hagan? Yep.
Yeah, James Hagan. Deep in the left forward pocket, just in front of the AFGRI building here at Daimler Truck Greenock Oval. So he's only on a very acute angle, shoots on goal. He's across the face of goal, I think. In fact, it's been marked before it went through. Wait on the umpire. The umpire is going to confer with the senior umpire. And he said, yeah, it's a mark. The umpire said he hadn't marked it before he went through. So Matthew Thompson is the player. He's only played a handful of games for Brigades this year. A big, solid young man. And Matthew Thompson will shoot on goal from point-blank range. Screws it around the corner. And I think the Hawks have got a point. So on the scoreboard for Midwest Wind Farms, it is Brigades 1-2-8. Rovers are yet to score. And the breeze blowing across the ground, but if anything, it would be favouring the airport end, the end to which Rovers are kicking in this first term.
The Rovers just been a little bit messy, I think, with the ball, just a little bit fumbly, a little bit not quite as clean, whereas Brigades have been nice and clean with their skills and been able to get it forward and lock it in there. Goes out now through Azevedo out in the back pocket. He's goes up the ground looking, there's a handball come out, knocked on there by Bursell. And then Denton through the contest, clean grab. He was held without it, and he's going to get the free kick on centre wing, just in front of the coach's boxes. Tommy Denton had a really good year. Be looking for a big game today. Not sure where to go, though. Kicks to half forward. Out right on the boundary. Really hard to see who's in there, and it's gone out of bounds again, right on centre wing, right in front of the interchange benches. The Rovers just need to tidy up their skills a bit. They've just been a little bit rusty, not quite hitting the skills.
It's been uncharacteristic of them this year.
It is.
They've had normally pretty good skills and are able to go slingshot almost from their back line to their forward line.
Dylan Ralph through the contest there. He started the game really, really well. Out comes Kane Simpson now, fumbles the ball. He's looking inside, goes back to boundary, and he's found Azevedo. Again on that right out wide on that centre wing. He chips forward. He's found Brennan. Brennan turns and goes. He's Sealander straight through his hands. He had a nice easy mark, no one on him there, and it's Brigades are able to clean up now. But they're, again, a bit scrappy. Out it comes to Brennan with long handball out. He turns. Handball to Sealander. They're going nowhere at the moment. Through comes Simpson. Goes long into the goal square looking for someone, but it's gone through for a behind. First score for Rovers on the board.
Yes, we've played 8 minutes in this first term with thanks to Geraldton Community Bank. And on the scoreboard, very interesting scoreline. 1 goal, 2 Brigades. Rovers 1 behind. That's their first score of the afternoon as Brigades bring the ball out. Under pressure, Jasper Cook sees the ball come to ground. Picked up by Rovers. Rovers shoot on goal from Josh Simpson. And he's a class act. He's picked someone out just in the nick of time. And Rovers have an opportunity to score their first goal of the afternoon. And it is with the young fella in Criddle. No, it's young Kevin Sealander with the ball. Kevin Sealander scores the first of the afternoon for the Rovers side in a goal sense. And a good goal it was too from Kevin Sealander. And on the scoreboard for Midwest Wind Farms, it is Brigades 1-2 and Rovers also 1-1.
Wasn't the prettiest of kicks there from Simpson, but it was effective. Picked out the man he wanted in Sealander, top of the goal square, and made no mistake in front of goal. Just saw it then. Rovers able to play a bit more how they usually play, albeit a bit scrappy, but using their pace, you know, getting some movement on the ball, not necessarily worrying about where it's going, just moving it forward and then backing their skills to get the job done.
Ball back in the centre with umpire Bennett. Umpire Bennett to get the ball back into play. Up it goes. And Brigades, John Patrick having a run on the ball now. Ball comes the way of Daniels. Jason Daniels for Rovers. Screws the ball around his body. Kicks it forward. Goes the way of Brigades Hams. He gets a handball away, but a whistle on play. Umpire Bennett will come in and throw the ball up on half forward. So Rovers starting to steady a bit, getting a little bit of more drive out of the midfield. Ball thrown up. The big fellas go at it. Tazewell gets the best of it. Comes to ground. Picked up now by Gabriel Parfitt. Gabriel Parfitt is tackled high. And Parfitt will take the free kick. 60 metres from goal. Plays on with a short pass. Rovers player running there is Jack Eastoff. Eastoff runs across the 50-metre line. Puts it on his left boot. Kicks it up towards the teeth of goals. But the defender there for Brigades does well. And takes a good strong mark. That's Joel Patrick. Joel Patrick goes out wide and finds his teammate in Jamie Hagan. Hagan plays on quickly up along the outer side, looking up there for the teammate in Brendan Cockman. Cockman does well, gets the ball over towards a teammate. The kick goes forward, but a good strong mark taken by Bo Simpson.
He comes back into the middle, finds Chris Scott all on his own. Rovers everywhere through the middle. Scott goes long, he's looking for Josh Simpson. He gets to the front, beautifully roved by Sheldon Nally.
Shot on goal.
Shot on goal. Shot on goal by Azevedo, and it's just wide. Beautiful bit of play by Nally, and then he lost control of it and ended up having a fumble. So a few little fumbles, both teams. Little
bit of pressure out there.
Yeah, there is. A little skill errors.
And nerves. I think a bit of nerves
Absolutely.
in both sides, as you'd expect. A big prize for the winner of today's game. They go into the grand final. Of course, the loser has to front up to tomorrow's winner of the first semi-final between Railways and Chapman Valley. Ball comes out very quickly from the Brigades defensive zone. Getting the ball on was Clanny Barton. He goes out wide, looking out there for Lucas Ronan. Ball on half forward. Brigades players held while not in possession. That's the way the umpire has seen it. And the umpire gives the free kick to Barton. He gets it on quickly, goes out towards the boundary line. Brigade still in control. Ball goes up towards full forward. Matthew Thompson takes a good strong mark, and that's the way the umpire has seen it. But a good bit of play there from the Brigades players who got the ball into the forward line very, very quickly and got it towards their key forward in Matthew Thompson. Matthew Thompson, he's had a shot on goal. He missed one from a very awkward spot. This is a much easier shot, still on a 45-degree angle from about 20 metres. There goes the kick from Matthew Thompson. Goal umpire doesn't move, and a score on the board for the Hawks, a major, and on the scoreboard for Midwest Wind Farms, we can see the Brigades scoreboard ticks over to 2 goals to 14. They lead Rovers 1 goal to 8.
It was a good, strong mark. He had a couple of opponents on him, and he was a little bit out of position early. The Rovers guy had front position, and he just worked his way to the front, got enough of a hand on it, and took the second grab. So a really good effort there. They nearly ran themselves, Matt, coming out of trouble, out of the back line. They nearly ran themselves into trouble, but they worked it through, and they found the loose guy in Kalani Barton through the middle.
Yeah, I think they just wanted to work harder up forward. They had the numbers and backed their skills in. There was a bit of space there, which Brigades were able to run onto and then hit Thompson. So good bit of play.
Tazewell and Johnson back in the ruck. That's been a good duel. Out come Brigades, so out the front through Descamp. He goes long. Dylan Ralph. Oh, nearly a good grab there, like a slip catch. He recovers, though, goes long. But it's Kobe Bursell.
Oh.
No, it's come off hands. Matt Thompson's
second goal.
Got the little spoil in there. It's come off hands and he's socketed it through. So nice little bit of work there for a Brigades. Again, nice and clean out of the middle through Descamp. And a great recovery there from Dylan Ralph. He dropped the mark, but he was back on it in no time. Picked it up. The long kick in. Bursell thought he had it covered, but Matt Thompson got the hand in.
Yeah, beautiful bit of play, wasn't it, Matthew?
Yeah, great bit of awareness from Thompson, recognising that he was able to impact there. As you said, Bursell, he had 2 hands on it, but Patrick picked his pocket, Thompson picked his pocket, and kicked a great goal. So
yeah,
Brigades,
good bit of play. Yeah, right from the start, Dylan Ralph there, the way he didn't take the mark, but he wasn't far off. His second effort was great. So too was Matthew Thompson's second effort. That's what it counts. Ball back in the centre. 14 minutes gone in term number 1, with thanks to Geraldton's Community Bank. Ball comes back towards Chris Scott. He's held while not in possession. Umpire said, yeah, that's how he said it. Saw it as well. So Chris Scott plays on, or he will play on. He has the ball in the centre of the ground, backward as centre. Goes out towards the wing on the far side, or out towards the dog pavilion out there. And the way goes the way now of Gabriel Parfitt. He gets a short pass up the ground, picks out a teammate. So Rovers in possession, getting the ball along the outer side. Eastoff is that player. Jack Eastoff, a quality player, come back from the West Coast reserve side this year to play for the Rovers side. Gets the ball to a teammate, and the umpire just in front of the scoreboard, which reads pretty healthily for Brigades at the moment. The Midwest Wind Farms. Brigades are 3-2-20. Rovers are 1-2. Ball goes into the air. Ball comes to ground. Big pack around the ball. And the umpire will come in and throw the ball up once again. So time ticking by in this first term. And Rovers have the work to do.
Ball goes back up, comes to Daniels. He can't go. Oh, he was pulled off the ball without it too, but the umpire's called play on. Brigades now out the back towards Hams. He gets a quick kick away, and it's going to be a kick down ground because he was taken out by Kame Simpson after he kicked it. So it's Cockman now on the half-back flank. Goes short. Finds Ned Osborne, who's come onto the ground, giving them some run and some muscle. He's looking forward. He goes long down the wing. There's a good contest there. Well done by Bursell that time. Got a nice fist in. Stewie Egan knocks it on, but it's gone straight to Cockman. Nice handball forward. Looking for Lucas Ronan now. He's up. No mark there by Thompson that time, but James Hagan runs onto it. He runs into trouble and really well tackled by Sheldon Nally there. Got a nice old grip on him. He wasn't going anywhere.
It was a great
and Hagan's got up a little bit gingered there too, so nice hit. Up they go. Dylan Ralph in the ruck. There's an interesting. Comes back to Hagan, who's limping around at the back of the contest. Again, we've got a nice tackle, nice strong tackle again. Rovers are laying some nice hard hits in there, and that was Tommy Denton getting a nice hit there. Dylan Ralph up in the ruck again. Oh, he's taken out. Goes forward from Matt Adams down to centre wing. Daniels waits for the bounce. Sealander can't grab it. Over the top, comes through. I think that's Hagan. He was held. Tommy Denton, beautiful pickup. Oh, that's going to be down the ground as well. Just hit after he kicked it by John Patrick. And it had gone out of bounds, so bad mistake there.
It would have been a turnaround, would have come back. The Brigades have given up that one. Sheldon Nelly plays on quickly after that infringement, goes up towards the teeth of goal, but he kicks a poor one, gives Kyle Ham's Brigades the opportunity. He goes with a short pass and finds Svensson. Nathan Svensson came back last week and played well, playing a steady game again. Gus Osborne with the ball, starting to pick up kicks, and the ball back with Kyle Hams. Impressed with his game last week, and he's continued to play well. Goes the way of Joel Patrick, the fullback. Joel Patrick plays on, short pass, finds Svensson. So the Brigades defenders using the ball reasonably well, go out wide, goes the way of the player there in Valley, Lucas Ronan. Ronan gets it up towards his teammate or his brother. That is Lucas. He got it from his brother Isaac. And the ball goes up now towards half forward where the player there in Hassan Ahmed Watkins plays on quickly and kicks it from the 50-metre line to about the 30-metre line and finds Matthew Thompson. Matthew Thompson's kicked two. He's missed one, so he's been in very good form in this first quarter.
He's causing a little bit of a headache up there for Rovers.
He's a big body. He's a very big body.
Yeah, they're trying to cover him and Matt Watkins. They're both very mobile.
Yes.
And they're both good, strong marks.
So Matthew Thompson is right on the boundary line in front of the AFGRI building, shoots towards goal, he's offline and goes through for a minor score. And the Midwest Winds Farm scoreboard, Brigades are 3-3-21. They lead Rovers 1-2-8. And you're tuned to Radio Mummy, home of GNFL footy, with Glenn Barton, Murray Gardner and Matthew Paddock calling all the action this afternoon. Second semi-final day of Drennan O'Malley Motors game day as Rovers bring the ball out of play from the fullback. And it comes from Kobe Simpson. Kobe goes with a short pass, picks out Bradley Roworth. Bradley Roworth, another short pass up the ground, goes the way of Kane Simpson. Kane Simpson with the ball, just in front of his club rooms. Big kick up towards centre wing, just in front of our broadcast box. Plaque into the air, goes the way of John Patrick. He goes backwards to go forward, gets it to Kyle Hams. Kyle Hams goes up the ground and gives it the way of Gus Osborne.
Gus looks to go long here, goes out to the other side, but it's all Brigades there. Matt Watkins makes the contest, so recovers. Nice handball, back to Gus Osborne. Quick kick forward. He's looking up there for Thompson again, but a good contest by Jack Eastoff that time. Probably a really good matchup for Thompson, I would think. And they're stuck on the mill, and then we're going to have a ball up right in the left forward pocket. No, it's a free kick to Rovers. Eastoff brings it out wide, finds Azevedo. Chip forward to Kane Simpson, and he's off for a bounce. Nice shepherd from Bo. Another bounce, running down the side wing, looks up and he finds Sheldon Nelly. Oh, he shouldn't be paid that because it wasn't a mark, and now he's in trouble. Umpire blew the whistle a little bit early.
Must annoy you when you're an umpire and you think a bloke's going to take an easy mark and he drops it.
Well, it was an easy mark, and they would have been away too, Rovers there. Joel Patrick up into the ruck, but that's going to be out of bounds in front of Kane Simpson and Dylan Ralph. Yeah, so a real chance there for Rovers to go forward. I think he had it spent before he got it, Sheldon Nelly. He was off and running. Ball coming back in now. We got Matt Adams up in the ruck with Hayden Johnson. Both in it, got both hands on it. We got back into another contest here. Through comes Denton, but the handball's gone mad. And then Dylan Ralph is away with a nice bounce. Goes forward. Matt Thompson on the lead. Bricks it in just in front of the boundary. Kicks it back over looking for Cockman. It's all jumbled around there. Cockman, quick little handball out, finds him. I think this might be a free kick. Down the ground again for another late hit. This is about three that both teams have given away here at the moment.
Disappointing because it really puts the pressure on you. You know, that you thought you're out of trouble, but all of a sudden Brigades have got a free kick on the teeth of goals. It's gone up the field, and Brigades player there in Jasper Cook with the free kick screws the ball around the corner, and the Hawks have got their fourth of the quarter, so they've started very well. And on the Midwest Wind Farm scoreboard, Brigades are 4 goals 3-27. They led Rovers 1-2-8. And this is Gerald Community Bank Premiership season number 1, term 1. And Matthew Paddock, Brigades starting to show their class.
Yeah, they certainly are. It's been a great matchup so far, but Brigades are finding it easy at the moment. You know, we've seen a few times straight out of the middle, they go out the front of the stoppage. Rovers at the moment struggling to combat that. It seems like the only way they're getting their scores is from the back half, which is unusual for them this season.
Just a couple of little mistakes that Rovers have made. We saw Sheldon Malley drop a simple mark down here. We saw him give away a free kick there that resulted in a goal.
Yes.
So just little things that Rovers just not quite getting right at the moment and need to tidy up. Back in the middle now, no one can grab a hand on it. Through Dylan Ralph can though, but he's tackled. Ooh, nice hard tackle there. Brought to ground by Tazewell. Back up. Throwing up again, Tazewell and Johnson. Tazewell gets a nice hit, but it finds Lucas Ronan. He swings around onto his right, and he's finding Jasper Cook here. Back on the ball, going to the boundary. He's pulled down without the ball, I would think, and he will receive the free kick right deep on the half forward, right on the boundary. Umpire wants him to come back around. He's swinging in on his left foot. Puts it in long into the pocket. No one really there though. Ahmet Watkins out, but Jack Eastoff first to beat him, and it's trickled over the boundary right in front of the club rooms for another ball up. I think their move of Eastoff back in onto Ahmet Watkins and Thompson down there.
Pretty important, wasn't it? Yeah.
Been a good little move for Rovers, I think.
Ball comes back in for the boundary throw-in. Ball slapped back towards the boundary line. Brigades keen to get a goal before the quarter-time siren. Player has the ball held to him. There's been some fairly fierce tackling, as you'd expect. Second semi-final. There's a lot of reasons to play well today. Prize is a grand final berth, and they don't get much better than that. Comes the way of the Rovers player in Gabriel Parfitt. He's trying to keep the ball in control. Picks it up now, but the boundary line comes in too close. And there'll be another boundary throw-in on centre wing. 24 minutes gone in this first term with thanks to Community Bank Geraldton. And it's been a very entertaining contest at this point. But it's a 19-point margin in favour of the Hawks, which is a pretty good start. Rovers player caught in possession. Free kick will go the way of the big ruckman for Brigades in Hayden Johnson. Hayden Johnson, quality player, JJ Clune medalist, kicks the ball back towards half forward. Oh, the player flies early and flies and interferes to his detriment, and the free kick will go the way of whistle on play. Play on and now, advantage rule played. Goes the way of Kobe Simpson. He goes out wide. Kobe Simpson out there looking for a teammate, and just in front of the time clock, which reads 24 and a half minutes gone in this first term. Can't be a lot of time to play, and it's a 19-point game, as I mentioned. So this is a very good start for Brigades when you consider Brigades will have the use of the breeze, although it's an awkward breeze favouring the airport end, but it is blowing directly across the ground from south to north. Of course, this ground runs east to west. So the ball comes back into play, and on centre wing on the other side. So Rovers desperate to get a goal late in this term. Goes the way of Patrick. Joel Patrick handballs it out there, looking out there for Jordan O'Brien. Ball spills, goes back towards Valley. Valley goes with a short one to Patrick. Patrick kicks it up towards centre wing. Rovers player flies high, slaps it to ground, goes the way of Brennan. He handballs the ball forward, back to Brigades. Brigades have it now through Dylan Ralph. Dylan Ralph kicks it up towards half forward, looking up there for a teammate. Umpire says play on. Picked up again by Brigades, and Brigades put it on their left boot. Kick it up towards the forward line, looking up there for the teammate in Jack Deschamps. But Rovers are steady under pressure. Goes the way of Eastoff, and Eastoff kicks it towards half back and finds Tom Denton, but right on the siren of quarter time. And it is a very interesting scoreline. Big crowd here enjoying second semi-final day. And at quarter time, Brigades are 4-3-27. They lead Rovers 1-2-8. And you're tuned to Radio Mama, your home of GNFL football.
Live on Radio Mama, it's your GNFL match of the day. Thanks to Drennan O'Malley Motors.
Footy analytics made simple. Improve your team performance with My Dartfish Live S. Quickly tag key games actions during or after the match. Replay moments from the match, frame by frame or in ultra slow motion. Access richer content, dive into detailed statistics and filter what matters most with ease. Create playlists to show problems or areas for improvement and share them to your team. My Dartfish Live S supports Aussie rules football coaches to optimise team performance.
Our name is derived from the Greek prefix, macro, large. From the day we were born, this has been a promise for the future. We have grown through dedication, sweat, self-denial, faithful to our mission of being on the side of those who put themselves on the line. Through our name, we celebrate the greatness of those who believe there are no obstacles higher than their dreams. The courage to get back up after falling. The obstinacy of believing until the end. These are the values embedded in our logo. The Macron Hero. It's a celebration of sacrifice and tenacity. Up until your personal victory, until your arms are in the sky. Become your own hero.
And Murray Gardner and Matthew Paddock calling all the action, and a very entertaining game of footy it is. Our quarter-by-quarter summaries with thanks to Kirrily War, the member for Geraldton, along with the City of Greater Geraldton. And at quarter time, Brigades are 4-3-27. They lead Rovers 1-2-8. So it's a 19-point margin in favour of the Hawks. Looking at the goal scorers, Hassan Ahmed Watkins kicked 1, Jasper Cook has kicked 1 for Brigades, Matthew Thompson's kicked 2, and for Rovers, Kevin Sealander has kicked 1. For his thoughts on the first quarter and some of the better players, Matthew Paddock.
Yeah, well, Brigades came out and they got the jump on Rovers, kicking those couple of early goals before Rovers got on the board, but I think the majority of the play's been with Brigades. They've certainly come to play, and Rovers at times, they look a bit tentative. So unusual for them this year, of course, undefeated so far this season. Best players, well, Matt Thompson, he's kicked 2 goals, 2 behinds as well, so the game's on his boot at the moment. Dylan Ralph, as usual, does what he does, and Brendan Cockman's been good as well for Brigades. For Rovers, Tom Denton, Clay Azevedo and Jack Eastoff.
Okay, we're underway in this second term with thanks to Melissa Price, the federal member for Durack. Rovers win the ball quickly out of the centre. Big kick forward from Tazewell. Gets it up the ground, looking up there for a teammate. Ball deep at the forward line, goes the way of Gabriel Parfitt. Parfitt gets the ball forward very close to the boundary line. And there'll be a boundary throw-in just before the Rovers club rooms here. First quarter, Murray Gardner, what'd you take from it?
Yeah, I just thought Rovers were a little bit scrappy, a little bit with their skills and their ball handling, whereas got to be a ball up. There could have been nearly a couple of holding the ball decisions there, but not given.
Our umpires this afternoon for Sandra Carr, MLC, Paul Luxon, Robert Bennett and Theo Bennett umpire. Luxon puts the ball up in the air, goes the way of the hard-working Dylan Ralph, gets a handball forward, goes the way of Jasper Cook, but the ball is out of bounds, and there'll be another boundary throw-in deep on the Hallwood Road side of the ground, the end to which we are kicking. And, of course, left of screen is the airport, and to the right of screen is the City of Greater Geraldton.
Ball coming back in now, right on the half-forward line for Brigades. Up it goes. Good battle between the two ruckmen again. Through it comes, but Johnson gets that clear through to Dylan Ralph. He kicks it long and direct, but comes out beautifully. Eastoff, he's been a really good for Rovers in the first quarter, I thought. Takes a good rolling mark there, right on half-back. He's going to come long down the line looking for Daniels. Can't find him, and just touched and gone out. Just touched, the umpire's called. We're waiting to, the umpire's going to confer here to see if it was touched. Whether it's going to be a lasso or a throw-in. The boundary umpire called it touch straight away.
Yeah, if the I'd normally back the boundary umpire if he says.
No, it's called out of bounds.
Overruled.
Yep. So it's going to be Gus Osborne here with the half-forward line right on the boundary. Chip short to Dylan Ralph, and why wouldn't you? He started the game beautifully.
Been brilliant.
He's looking to wheels and goes into the middle. He's going to go long here. He's got two big targets up there. Up they go. But
Good
that's
mark.
Eastoff again. Really good mark. It's been a good move to get him back on those big guys, and he's chopped them off a few times now. Need a little bit more movement here, I think, Rovers. Oh, the bad kick, though. There's turnover. Straight to Kalani Barton. He wheels and goes too. He's going to go long. Looking, not a great kick, but it's going to fall to Descamp off the hands. He swings around, kicks it long in, touched on the line. Bit of a
running.
tussle.
No.
There's Eastoff. And he's handballed it through in the end.
Good idea, probably.
Yeah.
So Jack Eastoff's been a revelation back there. Brigades moving the ball forward, breeze blowing across the ground, but as we know, invariably it is the airport end, which is the goal-scoring end, the end to which the Hawks are kicking in this second term, with thanks to Melissa Price, the federal member for Durack. So we've seen 1 point added to the score since quarter time. So it's now a 20-point margin. Ball comes back in, but there's a whistle on play, free kick. And
touched and out.
Touched out.
Yep.
So we'll see if the ball go to Rovers.
Oh, again, the boundary umpire
has been
called it
overridden.
touched,
Yeah.
and it's been overridden again by the field umpire.
So the ball now with Tom Denton. Tom Denton, a JJ Clune medalist, gets a short pass, finds Gabriel Parfitt. Gabriel Parfitt on half-back, Horde roadside, working it down towards his club rooms and change rooms. Kicks it a short pass and finds Bo Simpson back from a hamstring strain. Bo goes across the ground, finds a teammate there. That teammate is Kevin Sealander. Kevin goes with a short pass, looking for Gabriel. Gabriel Parfitt under pressure. In goes Jesse Castleton. He's happy to keep the ball in front of him. Needs to knock it out soon.
On the
The
ball.
umpires said you were holding possession. So the free kick goes the way of Gabriel Parfitt. So, yeah, he had control of the ball. And the umpire asking you to knock it out. Goes the way of Parfitt, short pass, and finds Clay Azevedo. Azevedo on centre wing. Goes with a short pass. When he gets boot to ball, he decides to kick a little longer. Kicks it up towards half forward. Back into the air. Goes the way of Daniels. Jason Daniels gets a handball forward. Goes the way of Ralph. Ralph has the ball forced across the boundary line. There'll be another boundary throw-in on the half forward line near the club rooms. The end to which Rovers are kicking, which is the city end in this second term. Time ticking by, 5 minutes gone in this second term, with thanks to Melissa Price, the federal member for Durack.
Ball comes back in. The play all getting stuck on this wing at the moment with that breeze pulling it across. Brennan gets the hands out but going nowhere. Johnson in there hard. He's been tackled. Brennan recovered beautifully. Nice little fella taking on the big fella there in a nice tackle. We're not moving very far at the moment. It's all on this centre wing. Nice tap out, though, looking for Dylan Ralph. He's getting a lot of possession, and he's away with the bounce. Again, goes long. Has he got a target? Looks like it's going to be Eastoff all again. They keep kicking it to him at the moment. They're just banging in their long brigades, and it's not working. Back into the middle, but it was all brigades. They're able to get the spoil. Ahmet Watkins picks it up.
Beautiful pass.
And there was Keegan Cross came in, got the spoil when it looked like Rovers were away.
Lucas Ronan, isn't it?
Yeah, and Ahmet Watkins picked it up beautifully, found Lucas Ronan, and a nice contested...
a knock, but he held the ball. That's the main thing.
Yeah, it was a nice contested mark. He had to hold his ground. Shooting from about 45 out from when he hits the ball. Goes long towards the goals. I think he's got it. That's a nice kick. Nice finish by Lucas Ronan. And again, just a little mistake there by Rovers, trying to get that short little pass back into the middle, cross half back there. Brigades able to get a fist in, had the numbers around the contest, and they were away, Matty.
Yeah, I think full credit needs to go to Brigades here. They're forcing Rovers to play a style of footy that they don't want to play. They're making them be slow and meditated when they want to run and gun. And all year we've seen them hit the 45 on the inside. You know, use their speed. Brigades are just too well set up at the moment. They can't find a way through.
Yeah, they are struggling, really struggling to move the ball. They're going short, they're going backwards, they're going sideways, and we're back in the middle, Glenn.
And the ball in the air, comes to the ground, goes the way of Keegan Cross, slaps it forward, looking there for a teammate, but in goes Bo Simpson, trying to lift his side, but it only goes as far as Osborne. Osborne gets it out towards Ronan, and the ball goes across the ground. There's two Osborne brothers and two Ronan brothers. Brigades player is
What are they going to call here?
Yeah, they're going to call a sling. Yes. A bit unfortunate, but it's the way it is. Ball goes the way of the player there, and Jasper Cook caught in possession, but he was slung, and that's got to look after the players' welfare. Ball goes out wide, and Gus Osborne. So the two Osborne brothers, Ned and Gus, and the two Ronan brothers, Isaac and Lucas, both families, very young players, and playing good footy this year. Ball comes back in.
We got another one. He's been slung after he got rid of it, or has he got rid of it?
Yeah. So the free kick goes the way of Jack Deschamps. Jack Deschamp's a good, solid player. Been playing a little bit more upfield in the midfield this year, up in the forward line rather than the midfield. But he's a player, a very versatile player. Play anywhere. He's a very, very strong at the ball player, and very handy come final time a player of Jack Deschamps' experience. Ball thrown up, goes the way of Rovers now. Rovers trying to get their way back into this contest. Goes up the ground and finds a teammate there in Clay Azevedo. Azevedo, backward of centre, kicks it up towards half forward, but Brigades have the numbers. Goes the way of Lewin Valley, throws boot to ball. Good bit of play there from Valley, but Rovers do well. Picked up again by Azevedo. Goes by hand to a teammate there in Sealander. Sealander comes across the ground and finds Jack Eastoff on centre wing. Jack Eastoff playing a good game for the Demons. Kicks it the way of Jason Daniels. Daniels very close to the boundary line, gives it back to Sealander. Kevin Sealander gives it back towards Jason Daniels. Boundary line will come into play, and the umpire says throw the ball back in. And it's right in front of the Rovers club rooms here. And a good crowd, as you'd expect, at Daimler Truck Greenock Oval for the second semi-final. We have first semi-finals tomorrow from WA Country Builders Stadium in Wonthella. And it's a big clash between Railways and Chapman Valley in the league contest. And don't forget that we will be calling all the action on Drennan O'Malley Motors game day again tomorrow from 2:30.
Boundary umpire's going to try that again. Wasn't a good throw in the first one. We're back in now, half-forward line for Rovers. Can they find something and get something happening here? Ball goes up, through comes Clay Sipler. He's held there. Umpire's going out. Ooh, held to him. Nearly had a chance to get rid of it before he got tackled, but a nice strong tackle there by Matt Adams. He's back up in the ruck now against Joel Patrick. Comes forward now. No one really wants it. The half-hearted going at it. Neville in there. Little handball out. Comes forward though from Brigades, out to Keegan Cross, and he's away through the middle of the ground. Goes forward, finding Armat Watkins. He's tackled straight away by Simpson though. He tries to shrug off, little chip kick out towards Sealander. Can Rovers build something from here? Out towards Chris Scott. We haven't seen much of Chris yet, and he's away. Has a bounce through half forward line. Kicks long. He's looking for Gabriel Parfitt. Little shove. Did he get away with it? Yes. Oh, and then he gives him another little shove to go on with it. Gabriel Parfitt, just inside the 50. Not an easy spot to kick the goals from with the wind coming across virtually straight into his face here. So half forward line, kicking from just inside the 50, just in front of the club rooms here at Greenock Oval. Parfitt now. Let's go. It's not going to make the distance, going to fall short and knocked through.
As you said, Murray, very, very difficult to score. As we just saw, Gabriel's kicked plenty of goals from there in his time, but with the breeze blowing as it is today, it is quite strong, quite awkward, blowing across the ground, blowing across his boot as he kicked that, and the ball drops short, and the ball goes through for a force behind. Ball comes out of defence through Hams. He goes the way of a teammate there in Brendan Cochran. Cochran goes out wide, picks out a teammate. Good mark taken Valley by Lewin Valley. 34 plays 8 on the Midwest Wind Farm scoreboard for the second semi-final of the GNFL Premiership season for Community Bank Geraldton. Ball comes back into play. Brigades still in control. There goes a kick from Clay Sipler. Kick in hope, but luck's a fortune It beat the Rovers player running towards the ball. Bounce was an awkward one, and the umpire says the ball is held to that player, and umpire Theo Bennett will come in and throw the ball up. Ball will be thrown up. We've played 12 minutes in this second term with thanks to Melissa Price, the federal member for Durack. Ball comes back into play, goes the way of Osborne. Osborne gets a kick forward, up towards the forward flank. Ball runs towards the 50-metre line, pack around the ball, and the umpire will have to come in and throw the ball up. And it looks like players are scraping themselves up off the ground, and we'll see the ball thrown up in just a moment. So umpire Bennett, Robert this time, puts the ball into the air. Lots of players around the ball. Goes the way of Osborne. He had no prior opportunity. And once again, the umpire will come in and throw the ball up. So on the scoreboard from Midwest Wind Farms, it is Brigades 5-4-34. Rovers are 139.
Dylan Ralph coming crashing through the contest there, but held up. The ball not going very far at the moment. Still stuck on the half-forward line for Brigades. Can Rovers get something happening? Daniels tries to come through the contest. Ooh, Sippler there held in a nice hard tackle too. I think they've paid. No, it's going to be another ball up. We're not going very far at the moment. It's very contested. Lots of numbers around the ball. Comes out to Chris Scott. He gives it off to Kane Simpson, and he's away looking for something up forward, but can't find anything. Ooh, took a bounce and got tackled. Got away with it though. Gives the handball through to Neville. Haven't seen much of him yet either. He goes forward. Up there looking for Bo Simpson's. Moved forward by the looks. He takes a good strong mark on half forward. Chips forward. And they're away here, Rovers again. Top of the 50. They put it in long. Have they got anyone up forward? No, it's a good mark by Castleton. He sits back and knocks it off. Comes out to hands in the pocket in front of the club rooms. Swings onto his left looking for Lucas Ronan. Azevedo came back into the contest and just did enough to spoil him, but Lucas recovers. Chips forward looking for Descamp. He gets the handball forward again. Not going anywhere, and Jack Eastoff comes through. He's been really good. Gives it off to Bursell. Rovers are away, back through the middle of the ground. They've found, looks like young Credelli's come onto the ground. He swings onto his left foot and plays on. Goes forward, can't find Sealander, can't hold the mark. Handball over the top. Josh Simpson kicks forward, grab a kick, finds its way through. Who was that? I think it was Daniels.
No,
Kane Simpson.
Kane Simpson
has recovered beautifully, snapped the ball back over his head, and Rovers have got their second goal on the board. They've had to work hard for it, but they moved the ball a lot quicker. They got it a little more direct that time and got it in there a lot quicker. And they get the reward for it with a nice snap there by Kane Simpson.
And Matthew Paddock, good to see that Rovers have worked really hard to get that, but they certainly needed it too, didn't they, to steady the ship a little and keep themselves within touch. And you look around the ground, we saw a couple of players called while Murray there. Haven't seen a lot of them this afternoon, so there's a lot of upside for Rovers if they can start to get a little bit of the ball.
Yeah, just building a bit of confidence there, really just trying to get some of their players into the game. We saw Neville with an important touch. Simpson's been a bit quiet, but he's able to get on the end of a goal there. It will just do a bit of confidence, and it was the way the Rovers usually play. You know, they're able to get that ball and just zing it around, get it as quick as they can into the forward line, and then make a bit of magic happen.
Ball back in the centre. Umpire Theo Bennett puts the ball there. One forward by Hayden Johnson for Brigades. Ball spills. Rovers player gets tackled high. That's Tom Denton. Tom Denton plays on quickly. Short pass, almost an awkward mark there. Dylan Ralph running away from the ball. Ball slips through the hands of James Hagan, and Rovers go forward again. Big kick from Sheldon Nally up towards the teeth of goal, but a good strong mark taken by Brigades. Lewin Valley, he's been good again this afternoon. Goes out wide and finds a teammate. And Brigades have the ball in the back pocket. On the outer side, the player with the ball is Lucas Ronan. Lucas Ronan kicks it up towards centre wing, looking up there for the player in Clay Sippler. Ball very close to the boundary line. Umpire whistle on play. He's picked out a free kick, and a fair bit of pressure on the ball carrier. But the umpires, as you'd expect, doing a great job. Umpires Paul Luxton, Robert Bennett and Theo Bennett for Sandra Carr MLC. The GNFL umpires goes the way now of Keegan Cross. Keegan kicks the ball up towards half forward. Goes the way of Rovers, and the Rovers player has the ball held to him. And umpire Bennett will come in and throw the ball up. And we've played some 17 minutes in this second quarter. Brigades 5-4-34, lead Rovers 2-3-15. And time ticking by in this quarter. And of course the scoreboard with thanks to Midwest Wind Farms, who are one of the GNFL's platinum supporters in 2026.
Half forward line for Brigades now on the outer side, right in front of the Rovers coaching box. We're going to have another ball up here. It's become very contested at the moment, and lots of numbers around the ball. Ball goes up, comes out the other side. Again, Scrappy looking for a handball out the back, but can't find them. Nice tackle there, and umpire's going to ball it up again. We're not moving very far. Lots of numbers, lots of contest. Really hard at it in that pack situation there. Nice little tap down from Brigades. Comes out to Ronan there. He can't find anyone, and we're away. Gets a nice quick kick forward for Brigades. Out comes Bursell, though, gets the spoil. It falls to Kalani Barton, and he's found Thompson all on his own. That could be 50,
That's
and
50
it will be.
Yeah, late charge.
Yeah, Kobe Simpson, that was a bit silly. He had the mark. There was no point coming through, and no point going on with it now either. So Matt Thompson will be marched to the goal line. And he's going to pick up his third. And that's not what Rovers needed. They've worked their way back into the game. They didn't need to give that away. They've given away a couple of silly free kicks down the ground that have cost them goals, and that was just another one. He had the mark. There was no way that you're going to be able to get the spoil in there.
Yeah, as you say, just frustration for Simpson there. Brigades forwards, they're key tools there, and Armit Watkins and Thompson, they're working for each other. They're for lack of a better term, trying to outmaneuver their respective defenders, try and get the mismatch, because when Simpson has to line up on Thompson, it looks like Thompson has the advantage. So they keep going that way, and it appears to be working, and Simpson clearly frustrated.
Back in the middle now. Ball comes through. All Gus Osborne. Nice little shimmy there, and he's out. He's out down the middle looking for Armat Watkins again. Goes over his head and Simpson's head. Through comes Ralph. Thompson can't get through. Nice handball though. Handball back out. Sipler. He's under pressure from Chris Scott, and through comes Eastoff. He's saved him time and time again. Looking out here for Sheldon Nally and finds him on the half-back flank. He's held up by Jasper Cook, though. Looks back into the middle to find Eastoff again. He'll swing onto his left and go out wide looking for Brennan. He's got him on centre wing. Can they keep this ball moving, Rovers? He gets the handball off to Kame Simpson, running around the back, swings onto his left and looks up forward, but it's nicely taken there. Is that
Valley?
Nathan Svensson, I think it was. He chips it in to Castleton in the middle, and he finds Dylan Ralph right in the centre of the ground. He gives it off to the running Gus Osborne. He'll keep running all day. Not a great kick, but he finds Armat Watkins on half-forward line. Chips it over. It looks like Kobe Simpson, though, first to the ball, gives the handball out to Bursell, and the ball's he's going to fumble that, and it's going to go out of bounds. So we can start seeing Rovers as Matty trying to get their running game going, trying to move that ball a bit quicker. But they just seem to be just mishitting a kick going forward, aren't they?
Yeah, just 95% there. Just that 5%. It's sometimes it can be the difference between everything going right and just turnovers. So they're pushing and they're pressing, certainly more so in this quarter. Need some reward on the scoreboard though.
Free kick's been picked out, go the way of young Sean Brennan, the little flower who certainly got a heart of size of Farlap. He works really hard, gets it out the way of Cohen Credelli. So we've got a 25-point ball game in favour of the Brigades side. We're into time on now in this second quarter. Ball goes forward once again. Lewin Valley stands his ground, takes a very solid mark, plays on now, puts it on his left boot, kicks it forward, finds Hassan Armat Watkins, who's coming to the centre square to take a mark. Hassan Armat Watkins looking to get the ball on, and Rovers really struggling with the two-pronged attack, with the Brigades having Thompson and also Hassan Armat Watkins. This time it's Keegan Cross that's given away a free kick. Goes the way of the Rovers defender. He goes out wide, looking out there towards the other side of the ground, looking for Clay Azevedo. He pushes Jimmy Hagan out of the road. Ball comes back into the centre from Rovers, and Rovers have it through Gabriel Parfitt. Gabriel Parfitt is backward of centre, trying to get Rovers a score on the board before the half-time break. There goes a kick from Kevin Sealander. Good kick up towards Bo Simpson. Ball comes to the ground, in goes Hams, has the ball held under him, and umpire Bennett will come in and throw the ball up. Since quarter time, Rovers have added some 1 goal, 1, and Brigades have added 2 goals, 1. So a good performance from Brigades. Although they've had the breeze sort of in this quarter, it isn't all good breeze. We keep saying it's favouring the airport end, but it's blowing directly across the ground. But over history, it has been the scoring end, the airport end. Ball now with the player there, and Kevin Sealander coming into the Rovers side today. And Kevin, he'll shoot on goal from 50 metres out. Kicks it high, wide and handsome. Up towards the teeth of goal. Ball slapped forward. Goes the way. Back in goes Sealander. Working hard for the ball. Big pack around the ball once again. And umpire Bennett will come in and throw the ball up. Time ticking by in the second quarter with thanks to Melissa Price, the federal member for Durack.
I'm not sure, Matty, did you see what that free kick was for? I thought he was going to ball it up. Next thing, Sealander had the free kick.
It looked like he caught a ruck infringement, but yeah, I wouldn't have picked Kevin Sealander to be up in the ruck. So I'm not exactly sure what happened there.
Lots of numbers around this ball now, deep in the forward pocket for Rovers, right in front of the club rooms. And there's the siren to mark half time. Been a really good half for Brigades, who on the scoreboard lead 6-4 40 to Rovers 2-3 15.
You're listening to Radio Mama and the GNFL match of the day, thanks to Community Bank Geraldton.
The relationship with Great Southern Fuel started with my father 50 years ago, delivering fuel in drums back in the day, which has progressed into large tanks now. They've been very reliable and efficient on time with service.
We run a mixed farming operation here on Chapman Valley, just north of Geraldton, managing about 5,500 hectares. We've been with what is now Great Southern Fuels for in excess of 20 years. There's always challenges and situations that catch you out, and they've been really, really good at accommodating that for us.
We've been with Great Southern for 28 years now. Look, they've given us exceptional service and they're price competitive, so it's wonderful.
They're a great company to work for. They're a family-owned business. They will support you and whatever is required.
I've got Alan's phone number, I've got Steve's phone number, and I know if I ring it I'll get an answer, which is really cool.
The relationship's great and the service is second to none. So I ring up and it doesn't matter if it's Saturday, Sunday or whenever I ring up, I'll have fuel. So we've never been held up or had a problem with them. So my theory is that's what I'm about. It's about service and the relationship, and it's been fantastic.
It's very important to maintain long-term customers' loyalty and give back what you can when you can.
Great Southern Fuels is one of the few companies that I've been involved with that gives so much back to the local community. We support so many different organisations and country, sporting clubs, field days, farming organisations.
We endeavour to give back. The community looked after us by dealing with us, and we just gave it back in what we could do. Footy club needs a hand, well, it's because they need a hand that you give it to, not the other way around.
When you look at how they conduct themselves in the community, they've been a great supporter of the Livestock Transporters Association. Just incredible what they do.
I do a lot for the community, which is good. And not only late race either, it's right through where all these outlets are all over the state. He's been excellent with that.
We tend to sponsor major events, the Great Southern Football Carnival, Colts Carnival.
Across the board, I think sponsorships are a very important part of any community. I grew up in Lake Grace and footy was my life down there for a long time. Great Southern sponsored Lake Grace back then, and along with many other footy clubs and hockey clubs and tennis clubs. And we might not always be making a big deal out of it, but the people that get sponsored, they understand and they relate to it.
They do a lot for the town, so I can't fault them. They've been brilliant.
Great Southern Fuels have got strong values, and that shows in what they do. You know, they walk the talk and they do what they do.
You deal with people that are there and care about your business, and these people have been absolutely wonderful.
I'm very proud of what Mum and Dad have achieved in their life and how they've structured the business, and it's all structured around our customers and looking after people and being in the right areas where we need to sell the fuel and have the support there and sponsorship, being part of the community, even though we're not in that community, but our workers are there and that's part of us.
Well, folks, what an absolute pleasure to be joined by Tyson Bell from AFGRI. First of all, welcome, Tyson.
Thanks, mate. Thanks for having me.
First of all, the business itself, it's John Deere and other brands, is that correct?
Yeah, so AFGRI Equipment is that's our brand, and we're lucky enough to be able to supply John Deere, and might be a little bit biased, mate, but I believe John Deere is probably the best product out there to get. The ag game's an exciting industry to be in as well. The technology that's coming is incredible. It's exciting. And John Deere is obviously at the forefront of that. But at the same time, yeah, we do supply other brands. We've got Borgo, Manitou, Horsch, to name a few. See Terman and Redicop on board as well.
We go out into the yard. What is some of that machinery out there that you sell? And is it only new? Is it new and used? Tell us about the machinery.
It's new and used. Yeah, we promote the new side of it pretty hard, but we take the trade-ins and we sell them as well.
What services? Is there aftermarket? Do you service any of the equipment? What happens there?
Oh, you can't sell the equipment without having good aftermarket. So, yeah, we're pretty fortunate to have a good team out the back who do all the work behind the scenes. We've got a good team of mechanics, and our aftermarket support as well includes parts. So we've built our business off that foundation to have a good aftermarket support.
Do you do demonstrations out on the farm, for instance?
We've got salesmen on the road, mate, and I think they spend more time sitting in their utes driving around than they do at home with their own families, mate. So what we call our AOR, we cover from out west there to past Cookham, all the way out past Lake King to the fence there, and then north and south of that. So I think it's probably about a 10,000 square K sort of area that we look after. So forever out on the road, going and seeing customers, helping with setups and installs, and then of course demos during harvest and seeding as well.
The growth of the business itself assists and benefits the community.
Massively, yeah. So AFGRI has been a part of Lake Grace here for 8 years, 2016. Having someone like AFGRI backing us has been absolutely huge, and I think our customers have seen that as well. And having someone like AFGRI backing us gives us the opportunity to, support and sponsor things like this.
What's the best part of working for AFGRI and working in this region for you personally?
Look, living in Lake Grace is a great little town. Having a young family myself, it's an awesome spot to raise a family. And our team, consists of a lot of people in the same sort of boat. We've got a lot of guys here that are married, young kids, and same thing as wives and young kids as well. So it's a great environment to bring kids up in this town, and then have AFGRI to come on board and to do what they do for us. I still wouldn't be here if it wasn't as good as I say.
Would like to thank you very much from our behalf for your support. Mate, we've got the name all over the Classic Clashes truck, and why have you come on board? And tell us about that and how it's helping you guys as much as it's helping us.
Oh, look, when John first contacted us and sent us through the ideas of what he was trying to do, it was never seen anything like it before. So I guess it was one of those things that I don't want to miss out on it, so I want to be a part of it. And every weekend you see him on Facebook, different part of the the wheat belt, the area, the region, and then obviously his senseless plug there with AFGRI across the top, John Deere. It's pretty cool to see.
We can't thank you enough. We have a look on my sleeve here, on your jacket, and on the magnificent hat we've got on, mate. A great supporter of grassroots footy in regional areas, and as I said, we can't thank yourself, your staff, all the people in the region, but AFGRI especially for their assistance with that. And I don't say that lightheartedly, mate. It's been fantastic. We wouldn't get to where we are without the support of yourself and businesses in the local community AFGRI, folks, it's doing a great job. As we said, it's not just about come and buy something and it's see you later. It's a customer for life, it's service, it's backup. Meet great people like Tyson looking after us and so on. So let's go and have a wander around. Thank you. What have we got here?
Here's something you can probably handle, mate, I reckon.
Oh, thank you very much, Tyson. Look at that, it's got everything on it. How about that, folks? I've got my own little tractor. Sensational, mate, but in all seriousness, thank you so much for taking us around. AFGRI, mate, they are fantastic supporters. We can't thank you enough, not only with the business that you're doing in and around town and the region, all the relationships more importantly, but what you're doing for the community, extending out the olive leaf, if you like, with all your support, mate. Thank you very much. It's been an absolute pleasure. I'm going off to play with my tractor, mate, but AFGRI cannot thank you guys enough for coming on board.
No, thanks for having us. Appreciate it, mate.
Thank you.
mark. They've worked the ball across the ground and up to half forward, right in front of the Rovers coach's box. He's Azevedo now, goes long. Has he got a target up forward? This is where they've lacked it. Gabriel Parfitt fights for the front position. Ball comes down now. Sippler comes through. He can't get the handball away. It's held to him. We're going to have a ball up about 45 metres out, right in front of the Rovers goals. Here's a big opportunity for him to start the centre. Kane Simpson goes up, gets up high, knocks the ball forward, but it's come out to O'Brien. Oh, good tackle. That is holding the ball. Great work there by Kane Simpson. He took the ruck, followed up, got the tackle just as Jason O'Brien was going to be, Jordan O'Brien I should say, was about to release the ball. Nice, good, strong tackle, got him holding the ball, and he will have a shot now about 40, he'll kick from about 40 metres out, right out in the right forward pocket. He'll have the breeze coming behind him, so should get the distance. Can he get the accuracy?
They need a lift, don't they?
They do. They need to find something else spark. Maybe this might give it to them. It's a good-looking kick.
Offline.
Just offline. That would have been, I think, the spark, Len, that they would have needed. And the nice little tackle and the second, third effort would have been a good goal to finish. Brigades now bring the ball out to the back line. It's missed by Sheldon Nally, and away goes Jasper Cook. Little chip up, looking for John Patrick. Can he grab the ball? It's bouncing around him. Gets the handball forward to Armat Watkins. He's found space. Goes forward. Up there towards Thompson. Oh, no, not paid the mark. Nearly had it. Sippler roves beautifully. Kick forward. Bursell can't trap the ball. It's come through.
Very nice play.
That is Lucas Ronan.
It is.
I think Lucas Ronan sweated on that ball. Bursell again just couldn't trap it, and it came out the back. Lucas Ronan jumped on it, quick kick around, and then put the ball through for his second goal.
And Matthew Paddock, you saw it again. Just Brigades a little bit slicker than Rovers. Rovers seem to be fumbly, under pressure, making the odd mistake.
Yeah, just everything going Brigades' way, and that's due to how hard they're working. You know, they can. Both teams are making errors, but Brigades, they're just at all costs they're moving the ball forward, which is helping their cause. You saw there a couple of possessions there, and a bit of bad luck on Bursell's side, but a great goal from Lucas Ronan.
That's his second of the afternoon, and on the Midwest Wind Farms scoreboard, it is 46-16, so a 30-point margin as Rovers win the ball out of the centre. A good bit of play from Clay Azevedo. Kane Simpson starting to lift his work rate, starting to move around the forward line. Goes with a short pass up forward, not a good kick. And Jesse Castleton, he is a bit like Rowan Farris. They just keep kicking it to him. Ball comes the way of Rovers now, and Josh Simpson. Haven't seen a lot of Josh this afternoon. Ball comes to ground, and Rovers are swarming now. Can they get a score on the board? They trail by 30 points in the early stages of this third term for Drennan O'Malley Motors. Boundary line comes into play, and the boundary umpire will throw the ball back into play. Umpires this afternoon, Sandra Carr, MLC GNFL umpires, are Paul Luxton, Robert Bennett and Theo Bennett. Ball to be put back into play. Deep in Rovers' attacking zone. Rovers desperate for the next score. Ball comes forward. Two ruckmen go at it. Couldn't get to it. There's that many players in front of it. Pack around the ball. Ball comes out. Comes the way of Jamie Hagan. Ball spills. Comes down towards Jason Daniels. He's a class act. Shoots towards goal. But the ball drops short. Off hands, and Brigades would have been good to knock it through, but they kept it in play, and there'll be a throw up right on the boundary line, inside the boundary line, right near the left goal post, or left point post, just there near the airport end. Ball thrown up, and if I was Brigades, I would have slapped it through, but they didn't. They kept it in. Ball comes back into play. Rovers certainly lifting their work rate, trying to get the ball forward, not getting the score on the board. In this quarter, we've played 10.5 minutes, and Rovers have added 1 point, and Brigades have added 1 goal. So the margin hasn't narrowed enough for Rovers, but it is in their forward line, and they need to get a score while they have it there. So on the scoreboard for Midwest Wind Farms, it is Brigades 7-4-46, Rovers are 2-4-16.
A lot of numbers around the ball here as it goes back up again. Daniels, quick snap out, just going to not No, just
screw around the corner, didn't it?
Yeah, nice quick snap. That's what they need. They need something to start going their way, a little bit of luck. And unfortunately, the breeze just took that one away from the goals and threw for another behind.
I like the opportunity though. It's trying to find a goal in ways that they haven't at the moment. When they're going inside 50, they're trying to hit a target. And Brigades, they're just too tall, and they're just finding ways to intercept. So they need another avenue, a bit of luck, a bit of magic.
They might need to maybe kick the ball along the ground as it goes forward. Maybe take those intercept marks out of the play.
Lower their eyes a little.
Yeah, maybe. And it's Brigades will work the ball out to Isaac Ronan on the outer side. He goes forward. He's found Kyle Hams. He comes back in the middle, but that's a bad kick. Straight to Josh Simpson. Gets the handball forward. Oh, a nice tackle there and held up. Just a little sloppy kick there from Kyle Hams. You don't normally see that from him. He normally pretty spot on with his kicks, especially when he changes the angles. Ball goes up now, right on the half-forward line for Rovers. They're working hard to lock it in. They're working hard to get numbers around the contest and trying to work it through with numbers instead of just blazing away. So hopefully they can get something going here. They need something. They need the next goal to get back in this contest. Ball goes up again, through to Gabriel Parfitt, out the front. Can he hit a target? No one there. Castleton jumps across, cuts it off. Ooh, Simpson in there. Again, Rovers working hard. They're getting numbers to the front of their contest and they're locking it down. They're not letting Brigades bring it back out.
Yeah, there's a certain desperation about them now. They've sensed the moment and they've certainly got to capitalise in this quarter.
Right in that right forward pocket, the best spot of the ground to try and kick goals with this breeze, right in front of the scoreboard. That leads Brigades, sees Brigades 7-4 to Rovers 2-5. The Rovers working hard to keep this ball in their forward line. Boundary throw in now. Can they get something happening? Down it comes. Daniels gets the knock forward, but it comes through to Lucas Ronan. He goes without it. It spills out again towards the boundary, and we're going to have another boundary throw in. The Brigades are working hard here to stop Rovers, to try and keep that momentum their way. We're not going very far. Lots of numbers again around the ball. Ball thrown back in now. Up they go, the two ruckmen. Daniels up against Johnson. Johnson gets it down, comes through to Ned Osborne. It slips out of his hands. They're coming forward. And through comes Kalani Bard. He's gone back into trouble there. He could be in trouble here, yes, holding the ball.
I like this rule. I reckon it's a beauty.
He went back into trouble and then he didn't try and get rid of the ball. So pinned by the umpire, by Luxton. Daniels now looking forward again. Slow hit pass. Couldn't find Chris Scott, and Johnson comes away with it. A long handball out to Cockman, but he can't handle the ball either. Through comes Azevedo. He was held without it, and he's going to get the free kick. And we're going to see Clay Azevedo now. He'll be kicking from about 50 out. 45-degree angle. He'll have the breeze behind him, so he will make the distance. He's a beautiful kick, beautiful long kick.
Rovers need to make some headway because Brigades will have the breeze in the last quarter.
Absolutely. They need to get something happening here. They need this to go through from Azevedo to get them back in the game, to get some momentum. They're working hard for it. The kick goes forward, but it's across the face.
Hard to kick, aren't they?
Yeah, that breeze has taken the ball right away from the goals and through for another behind. They move to 2-6 now on the scoreboard to Brigades 7-4. Ham's waiting to bring the ball back in. He's going to look to come to this dead side. He goes short and finds Nathan Svensson. Takes the mark just in front of Gabriel Parfitt. Brigades trying to just chip it around here and try and keep possession. He's going to go back to Hams, but he's got numbers all over him. And we see Monardo chipped in. We haven't seen a lot of this boy today either. He might be the one that can spark them.
Really well
Chris
set
Scott,
up for Rovers. Just refusing to give Brigades an inch anywhere. They looked, but they couldn't find a target, and in the end causes the turnover.
Monardo now goes long, across the face of goal, and guess who? Cassidy again. He has taken another intercept mark. You almost need to play defensive forward on Castleton at times. He goes long out to the other side. Players go up, comes through to Eastoff. He can't go anywhere, and the ball is half forward for Rovers. They're working hard to keep it in, Glenn.
They are working very hard, but I'm a bit concerned they're not getting the score on the board, but it might break, it might open up, and once they get one, of course, they can quickly put a succession of goals on. But the pressure is building. 18-46 in favour of the Hawks. Brigades have controlled the game throughout to this point, so they have the work to do. Have Rovers. Rovers haven't lost a game this year. Maybe this is the loss they have to have. As ball comes to the player there in Tom Denton, and Tommy Denton will shoot on goal from 48 metres out, deep on the boundary line, about 10 metres off the boundary line, on the outer side, kicking towards the airport end, with the breeze at his back. But as we've been talking about, not easy to kick a goal today. Awkward breeze blowing across the ground. Tom Denton, one of the experienced players, knows how to kick a goal, knows how to make it work, and he has. That is a beautiful goal, kick. Tom Denton, and that might be the one that sparks the Demons. And on the scoreboard for Midwest Wind Farms, Rovers get a much-needed goal, and Tom Denton, a beautiful goal indeed. And Brigades are 7-4-46, and Rovers are 3-6-24. So is that the one, Matthew, to get them going? Matthew Paddock.
It's been 15 minutes of real hard work from Rovers, but in the end it's for one goal, and that's, as you pointed to before, that's the concerning part. So they need to go again here, certainly with this breeze. They've had the majority of the play, need some reward on the scoreboard. There's still plenty of time in this quarter, but they need it quickly.
Brigades backline, though, just not giving them anything. They're just not allowing them to get any run and go sort of forward. So they're making really hard work of it. Azevedo now storms out of the middle, but beautifully tackled by Svensson. Couldn't go anywhere. Umpire calls play on, and it's been held up. Oh, we've got a little bit of push and shove happening now. Azevedo, it was a nice hard work out of the middle, but a great tackle by Svensson. Ball goes back up now. Half forward line for Rovers. Out it comes to Dylan Ralph. He's had a field day today. Josh Simpson leads the race back as Easthoff comes across. Nice handball forward. Tommy Denton now. Handball back out to Simpson. Forward to Sealander. Chris Scott looking to go backwards. Wheels round now. Goes forward. Nice long kick. Valley. I had the sun in his eyes then, I think,
yes,
and went over the top.
Mark, Valley.
Yeah, I thought he was going to pluck that, and he just lost it in the sun. Just over the top, and it's gone out of bounds. Left forward pocket for Rovers. Again, they're on the attack. They're starting to get some momentum. They're starting to get something happening. Chris Scott up in the ruck, which pushes him out, but gets away with it. Tries to soccer it around. Through comes Gabriel Parfitt. Quick snap. And through for another behind. So they're scoring, but it's just behinds at the moment. They need to try and get a couple of goals in a row, I would think, Glenn, to get them right back in this and to put the pressure back on Brigades.
19 minutes gone in this third quarter, the premiership quarter for Drillin O'Malley Motors. Rovers, on face value, you wouldn't think they've done enough in this quarter, but looking at the scoreboard for Midwest Wind Farms, we can see that the Brigades are 7-4, Rovers are 3-7 as Rovers set sail for home again.
Beautiful goal.
And maybe all of a sudden there's a spark. And Clay Azevedo's kicked a beautiful goal from the boundary line. He's a class act when he gets it going. And all of a sudden, Rovers are back in the contest. And we've still got plenty of time to play. We've got a quarter, and we've got about 3 minutes in this time on period in this third term. So, on the Midwest Wind Farms scoreboard, we can see that Brigades is 7-4, and that is a pretty good scoreline. 7-4-46. Rovers are 4-7-31. So the margin is narrowing. So there's still a fair bit of life left in this game. And if Rovers can get another goal or two prior to three-quarter time, we've got a real contest on our hands.
Azevedo's really lifted, and now Rovers come again. Denton out of the middle. Whacks the ball up nice and high out to the half-forward line. Rovers have really got a bit of a step in their run now. They're up and about. They're working hard to keep that ball in there. Quick kick out from Cook. Doesn't find anyone, though, and Denton again back onto it. Finds Tazewell. Left foot forward. Chris Scott all on his own. Ooh, he's nearly going to play on. He's taking the mark. About 50 out. Left half forward for Rovers. You can see that they have lifted, Matty Paddock.
Yeah,
they are coming.
They're coming like a freight train here. The play's all been with Rovers so far in this term. 2 goals now. Can Chris Scott make it a third?
He's going to kick from virtually right on the 50. Wheels in, sets it up. It's not going to score. It's a contest there right near the point post and through for another behind. So Rovers go to 4-8 to Brigades 7-4. They've had more scoring shots, Glenn, but they've got to start putting these through to really get back in the game and put the pressure back on Brigades. Brigades are having to work hard here to try and move this ball. Hams now brings it back in, goes short. All he's found is Dwayne Neville, though. They really are struggling to move the ball, Brigades. They're suddenly trying to chip the ball, and it's not working.
Such is the pressure of this game, I think. We saw in the first and second quarter, Brigades relatively easily were able to take it out of their back line. Now, Rovers, at every opportunity, they're stopping them.
Well, this is an area, 14 points is the margin. If Dwayne Neville gets a score here, and it's a goal, it'll certainly bring it back off hands. Ball's still in play, and I think Brigades would have done better to knock it through. Kane Simpson, yeah, so Kane Simpson gets another one. So the margin now is 8 points. So Rovers have gone from boiled lollies to chocolates, and a good bit of play there. So Rovers kicked the last 3 goals. Tom Denton kicked one, Clay Azevedo kicked one, and now Kane Simpson has kicked one. So the scoreboard looking a lot more attractive now to the Rovers team and the Rovers supporters. And as we head towards the 3/4 time siren, Brigades on the Midwest Wind Farm scoreboard. Brigades are 7-4-46, Rovers are 5-8-38, and we've got an 8-point ball game.
We said we needed Rovers to find a spark, and I think they've found one in Clay Azevedo's given them a spark, and Kane Simpson's been really good this quarter. He's just been buzzing around that forward line, and he deserved that goal. Back in the middle now, Dylan Ralph, he's going to do something about it though. Quick kick out of the middle going forward. Eastoff gets across and gets the spoil on Cook. Out it comes, Sealander, back to Eastoff. Trying to get on his left foot, and that's holding the ball. That is a great tackle. Don't need to go on with it though, Jack Deschamps. Great tackle. Eastoff trying to find his left foot, couldn't do it. Deschamps now looking forward to Matt Thompson. Haven't seen much of him this quarter, hasn't been down there. Rovers though, get the numbers. Matt Watkins Few gives it out to Lucas Ronan. He goes bang towards goal and just offline. Just offline. So Rovers, can they get the ball back down their end where it's been most of this quarter? Simpson goes short out of the pocket, finds Bursell. Left back pocket. He's going to go, no, he's going short. Not a great kick though, over the top of hands. Who's first back on it? Cook comes from one way, Rovers come the other way, but Rovers get it forward. And that's going to be high, it's going to come back.
So Rovers player put down late. Free kick will go back to another player. The Rovers player is still on his haunches. Rovers bring the ball in. Comes the way of Jack Eastoff. Jack Eastoff on half back. Rovers pressuring. They've come back very strongly with very handy 3 goals in this quarter. But there's the siren. 3/4 time of the football on Drennan O'Malley Motors game day. And a really entertaining second semi-final still up for grabs. And we've got a very interesting 9-point margin. Brigades lead 7-5-47, Rovers are 5-8-38, and you're tuned to Radio Mama, your home of GNFL football.
You're listening to the
Footy analytics made simple. Improve your team performance with My Dartfish Live S. Quickly tag key games actions during or after the match. Replay moments from the match, frame by frame or in ultra slow motion. Access richer content, dive into detailed statistics and filter what matters most with ease. Create playlists to show problems or areas for improvement and share them to your team. My Dartfish Live S supports Aussie rules football coaches to optimise team performance.
Our name is derived from the Greek prefix, macro, large. From the day we were born, this has been a promise for the future. We have grown through dedication, sweat, self-denial, faithful to our mission of being on the side of those who put themselves on the line. Through our name, we celebrate the greatness of those who believe there are no obstacles higher than their dreams. The courage to get back up after falling. The obstinacy of believing until the end. These are the values embedded in our logo. The Macron Hero. It's a celebration of sacrifice and tenacity. Up until your personal victory, until your arms are in the sky. Become your own hero.
Kept coming, and Rovers really had a really good quarter with the breeze at their back. They kicked 3 goals, 5, and at three-quarter time, Brigades still in control by 9 points. Not in control, they lead by 9 points. There's still a long way to go. Brigades 7-5, 47, lead Rovers 5-8, 38. Our three-quarter time summary with thanks to Kirrily War, the member for Geraldton, and also the City of Greater Geraldton. At three-quarter time, goal scorers, and they've shared them around, and the 5 goals for Rovers: Kevin Sealander, Kane Simpson, Tom Denton, Clay Azevedo and Kane Simpson, 1 apiece. Looking for Brigades goals, Matthew Thompson has 3, Lucas Ronan has 2, singles to Jasper Cook and Hassan Ahmad Watkins for his thought on that quarter and the game. And where to from here, Matthew Paddock.
Yeah, Rovers' pressure was superb in that quarter. They didn't relent for almost the full quarter, and we were worried they weren't going to get the reward on the scoreboard. But once they kicked one, once it rains, it pours, and they managed to kick 3 in the end there to get themselves within a couple of kicks. It's been a great contest, and that's off the back of Kane Simpson, Clay Azevedo, both in the midfield and up forward, getting the job done. Meanwhile, Brigades, they've been strong all day, but were put to the test in that quarter and just lowered their colours a fraction. But they've still got the lead, so it'll be a fascinating last quarter.
It certainly will. Our umpires this afternoon for Sandra Carr, MLC, Paul Luxton, Theo Bennett. Umpire Robert Bennett gets the final quarter underway, picked up by Brigades, and they quickly get the ball forward through Osborne, goes up towards half forward, and he's picked out
Ned,
his brother. So Ned with the ball now. Ned Osborne gets it in towards the forward pocket, looking there for the young player in Lucas Ronan, very close to the boundary line, but he's a clever player. Keeps the ball in, centres the ball towards goal. Almost a great goal, but a good mark in the last line of defence. Goes the way of Tom Denton. Tom Denton plays on, puts his teammate under pressure, ball running free. Picked up now by Dylan Ralph. He screws the ball around, he'll be offline. Shoots on goal under pressure. No, that's a goal.
Come back nicely with the breeze.
Well done, Dylan Ralph. And a bit of a dangerous bit of play from the Rovers' defence. They turned the ball over. Always awkward coming back into the corridor. And well finished off, beautifully finished off there by Dylan Ralph. And certainly Dylan Ralph among the contenders for the Ross Pudworthington medal this afternoon. And on the Midwest Winds Farm scoreboard, it is an interesting scoreline. Brigades quickly on the board. Only a minute played in this final term, with thanks to GT Russell Chartered Accountants. And Brigades go to 8 goals 5 to 5 goals 8. So all of a sudden, it's back to a 15-point ball game in favour of the Hawks.
We're back in the middle now. Up the ball goes. Johnson gets the best of that tap, looking for Dylan Ralph. He bursts out the middle again, looking up forward. Can't find a mark, and coming through is Brennan, and well tackled, well held there by Kalani Barton. Up the ball goes again, right on the half-forward line for Brigades. They knock it forward. Ahmet Watkins all on his own, swings on the left, but that's going to go wide and out of bounds on the full in the left forward pocket.
Oh, 50 metres.
The 50 metres. I'm not sure what that was for. Did he not give the ball back?
Dropped the ball once it went over.
Yeah.
Silly thing to do.
Yeah, it was. Lucas Ronan, who's had a really good game, and just a bit of a brain fade there, I think. So now Kobe Bursell off half-back. Looks short, looking for Scott, but it's through his hands. Gus Osborne jumps onto it, gets a handball forward. Young Jimmy Hagan now gets it. Quick kick up. Bursell first to the ball. Can't trap it, though. Ahmet Watkins all over him. Through comes Easthoff. Ahmet Watkins the other way. Clears it up. Goes forward. Can't find Ned Osborne, but he soccers it forward. He runs onto it. He snaps it around. No one there. And it's going to trickle out through the forward pocket again, the right forward pocket for Brigades. So a couple of little skill errors again there by Rovers. Just trying to get the ball, trying to be cute with the ball going forward. Can't find their targets and letting Brigades back into the game. Ball comes back in now. Descamp goes up. Gets the knockdown. But it's trapped in there and it's held up. We're about 40 metres out from the Brigades goal, almost directly in front. Can Brigades get another one and almost seal the deal for this game? Get them right up. Denton can't get the ball out. He's trapped. Ball's held in. Be another ball up. Tommy Denton's working hard for Rovers. He's played the middle all game, but he's just trying hard to get things going. He can't quite. Dylan Ralph, though, he's getting lots going. Snaps it back towards the front of the goals. Through comes Kobe Simpson. Good tackle. That could be on the ball. And it is.
Yes. That's Lucas a Ronan. Beautiful tackle.
Lucas Ronan's gone forward. We don't see him play up forward. He's usually across the wing, but he has given him a spark up there. He's kicked a couple of goals, and he's now going to line up from the top of the goal square.
I think Ronan just provides something a bit different to what we've seen.
He's so quick, isn't he?
Absolutely.
And he puts it through to kick his third for the match. His speed and pace just has worried Rovers. They haven't really got a match-up for him. Seeing sort of Kobe Simpson go with him. Kobe's normally a sort of a taller opponent, so they've got no one really to match Lucas down there, and he's providing something for them, a real spark.
Yeah, it's great to have him with his pace around some of the talls like Thompson and Ahmet Watkins. In the event that they don't take it, then Lucas can go to work at ground floor, and we've seen that today with 3 goals already.
And then moved him back up on the wing now.
In the third quarter, it took Rovers to the 20-minute mark before they kicked their first of their 3 goals, and we've only played 5 minutes in this final quarter, and Brigades have already kicked 2 goals. The ball comes back to Rovers at the midfield, ball held to that player. Umpire Robert Bennett will come and throw the ball up. In earlier games today, in the second semi-final, Towns are through to a grand final. Towns 9-8, 58, defeated Chapel Valley 8-6. 4-point margin there in favour of the Bulldogs in the Colts competition. Of course, tomorrow it continues with the first semi-finals, and we'll keep you across all the action on Adrenaline O'Malley Motors Game Day on Radio Mama and Radio Geraldton as Hassan Ahmed Watkins shoots on goal. That could have been the icing on the cake. Hassan was offline. Well, he hit the post. It was a pretty good thing to do. Not easy to shoot at goals, but he hit the goal post about halfway up. So a minor score. Hassan has kicked 1 goal this afternoon, but still peppering away. Certainly been a key forward and working hard. As we see Rovers bring the ball out of defence, but the ball's been turned over. Goes from cross, gives it to Osborne. Osborne shoots towards goal, and the ball goes through off hands.
No, it hasn't gone through.
No, it didn't go through. So play on's the call, and no minor score there. And it comes back in, and Brigades fighting hard for the ball. Rovers too. Rovers desperate to get a ball back. Ball goes under the players, and umpire Theo Bennett will come in and throw the ball up. So interesting scoreline now. A very, very good start to this final quarter for the reigning premiers Brigades. They could move into another grand final. Looking at the scoreboard at the moment, But Rovers still have an opportunity. Whistle on play, and your Rovers player was interfered with. Clay Azevedo is that player, and he's had a good day. He's had a good season. Clay Azevedo from the half-back line kicks it up towards centre wing. Looking up there for the big man, and Blake Tazewell takes a very strong mark. Plays on by Hahn, goes the way. Umpire saying coming back, you can't play on from in front of your mark.
It was like he was lining up to go the other way.
Play on now. The umpire saying you've got to go back behind the mark. So Blake Tazewell getting told to go back behind his mark. Hayden Johnson stands his ground, the big ruckman. So it's on half-back. So Blake Tazewell gets the kick forward now, in towards the centre of the ground. Brigades in best position. Brigades player couldn't mark it, falls to the ground, goes the way of Kane Simpson. He runs through traffic, does well. Gets the ball a little bit further close up to the goals, but Dylan Ralph's there. He goes the way of Lewin Valley. Lewin Valley puts it on his left boot, kicks it forward. Tazewell comes back in. Azevedo's there, uses his body to good impact. Gets it back to Tazewell, goes the way of Credelli. Credelli can't pick it up. Picked up now by the Brigades player. Gets a handball away in Barton. Players going in pretty physically now, as you'd expect. A lot on the line in this final term. Ball very close to the boundary line. Ball stays in play. In fact, eventually goes out, and the boundary umpire will come and throw the ball in. 8 minutes gone in this final quarter, with thanks to GT Russell Chartered Accountants. 60 plays 38, so we've got a 22-point ball game in favour of the Hawks. Have they done enough? Can they get to another grand final? Well, Rovers, they've got time to do it, but can they? As the ball comes the way of Brigades' Clay Sippler, and the old lasso comes into play, and Rovers will get the free kick, and it'll go the way of Gabriel Parfitt, I think, or Tom Denton. And eventually Gabriel
Parfitt just trickled off his foot as he went to kick and got tackled. Denton goes forward now. Got a bit of a push after he kicked it. Through comes Hams. He can't get a handle on it. Norkin Cockman. Out it comes to Gabriel Parfitt. Handball forward. Looking for Brennan. He can't go anywhere. The pressure has gone right up now. Both teams coming in hard. Credelli going nowhere either. Great tackle by Cockman. Yeah, we're definitely seeing a lot more physical hardness. Both teams coming in hard, trying to either get something happening or to lock this game down. Through it comes now. Gus Osborne gets a quick kick forward, but straight to Kobe Simpson. He's not playing on. He's got to come back. He chips it forward to Bo Simpson. He goes longer onto his left foot, looking up forward for Monardo. Monardo can't take the ball, lays a good tackle though, and we get another ball up right in front of the Rovers goals, about 45 metres out. Up the ball goes. No one up against Chris Scott, so he knocks it down, comes back to him. Kick smothered by Patrick, who chases after it, gets the handball up, but that's smothered too. Comes back to Chris Scott. We've got a free kick.
And it'll go the way of Rovers.
Of Rovers. I think it was a high tackle.
Tom
Denton putting his head in over the ball that he has all day and he's well known for. He's going to receive a free kick. He'll be kicking from virtually right on the 50. Right in front of goals.
Breeze blowing across his body, so it'll be a tough kick. And he's pretty tired, I would think. He's run a lot of Ks this afternoon. Yeah. Another solid Tom Denton performance, as you'd expect.
Yeah, he's worked really, really hard. He's been the mainstay in that midfield for the Rovers. He's done the hard work. He's needed a few guys to go with him through there as well. He's right in front. He's going to kick from just inside the 50. This might get Rovers back in it if he can nail this. Kick goes forward now. It's a good long kick. And I think he's got it.
He has.
He just off to the side.
Wasn't a bad effort,
no,
was it?
It was
very
a great
good effort.
effort.
He made the distance, just didn't have the accuracy.
Yep.
So on the scoreboard for Midwest Wind Farms, the margin now 21 points in favour of the Hawks. And Brigades at 9 goals, 660. Rovers are 5-9, 39. Ball comes back into play as Brigades quickly get the ball up towards half-back. Goes the way now of Jamie Hagan. Jamie Hagan goes out wide, finds a teammate, and the ball ends his ground. Good mark there.
Dylan Ralph
once again
stood his ground.
He's a beauty. Dylan Ralph with the ball on back with a centre square, centre wing on the outer side. There goes his big kick up towards the pack. The big fellas go at it. Ball comes to the ground. Bloke that rows it is the big man, Hayden Johnson. The ruckman kicks it up towards half forward, but Rovers have the numbers at the moment. Chris Scott taking a while to put a handle on it. Eventually he does. Does a little bit of a shimmy, turns the ball around, gets the ball up. Well done. Gets it the way of Clay Azevedo. Clay Azevedo on centre wing. Azevedo plays on quickly, looking up there. Lewin Valley doing well. So too is his opponent in Jason Daniels. Ball very close to the boundary line. Picked up by Jesse Castleton. Castleton kicks it wide, looking up there for Matthew Thompson. In goes Kobe Bursell, very close to the boundary line. Keeps it in play. Eventually it does come out of play, and the boundary umpire will come in and throw the ball up. So, very, very entertaining game of footy, as you'd expect. Second semi-final day. Grand final berth up for grabs. And always stays statistically, if you go through to the grand final from the second semi-final, you generally got a little bit going for you because you got a week of rest. And that is always a bonus. As the ball comes forward, goes the way now of the Brigades player running with the flight of the ball there, and Gus Osborne didn't have any prior opportunity. Umpire Theo Bennett to throw the ball up again. Time ticking by. 13 minutes gone in this final term. Rovers need something quick to make this game come alive again. They kicked 3 quick goals in the third quarter, which was very good for them. But unfortunately for them, Brigades have kicked 2 goals in the opening 13 minutes of this final term and have sort of taken back some of the momentum. 21 points the margin, and we've played a very entertaining contest here. This game played here at Daimler Truck Grenfell Oval. Good crowd here. Comes the way now of the players who are quite content. And Matthew Paddock, that seems to be the situation now. Players of both sides probably pretty tired. And you've got to win the game. You can't lock up shop just yet.
Yeah, significant numbers around the stoppage.
Good mark
there from Thompson.
Matty Thompson takes another very good mark. He's 50 metres out on a 45-degree angle. Matthew has kicked 3 goals this afternoon. Goes with a short pass. He finds his teammate. No, well done by the defender there for Rovers. Slapped the ball away from Jimmy Hagan. And a good bit of play from the defender there for Rovers. Well done to him, because Jimmy looked like he was just going to take a pretty easy mark, but that wasn't the case.
Left forward pocket now for Brigades. They're back into attack. Ball comes in. Osborne gets the tap down and comes out to Josh Simpson, though. He wheels back through the contest and hits up Eastoff in the middle. He's away, charging onto his left foot, but nothing to go to down the ground, so he has to go backwards. Finds Kobe Simpson. He plays on as well. He's got more options now. Going for Gabriel Parfitt. He's up. Couldn't take the mark. Comes through. Picks up by Tom Denton. Still working really hard. He kicks it up, and beautifully done by Jason Daniels. He's going to play on. Give it across to Kane Simpson. And he's missed. Quick kick under pressure. That was good ball movement. They attacked the game there, Rovers. Daniels did an awesome job down there against 2 opponents to hold the mark. Played on. His teammate under pressure, though.
Interesting, both sides have had the same amount of scoring shots, but Brigades probably been a little bit more composed around goal. Rovers under pressure. They've had 15 scoring shots, so too have Brigades, and the margin still 21 points. Ball coming out of defence now. Goes the way of Nathan Svensson. He goes out wide, finds a teammate, and Brigades have the ball up on centre wing. Good mark there by the Brigades player in Hayden Johnson. Hayden Johnson, the ruckman, puts it on his left boot, kicks it towards half forward, gives Chris Scott an opportunity, and Chris Scott picks it up well, comes back across the ground, looking for Josh Simpson. Josh Simpson on half back at the moment, uses the ball well, kicks it forward into the centre where he finds Dwayne Neville. Dwayne Neville goes out wide, looking there for Kobe Simpson. Finds Kobe. Kobe takes a good, courageous mark. Plays on quickly, kicks it up towards half forward. Looking up there for some run from the Demons. Ball comes back, goes the way of Azevedo. He shoots on goal. In fact, it was Sheldon Nelly. Sheldon Nelly throws boot to ball. And another score this time. I don't think it went. I must have went out the full.
Bounds.
Out in the full. So Rovers under pressure. That's fair to say. They haven't been easy shots because Brigades' defence has been pretty formidable. So we've got a 20-point ball game here at Daimler Truck Grenfell Oval, and we've played 16 and a half minutes. Bit early to call just yet, but I would say Brigades are destined to play in another grand final, even at this early stage.
comes out to the half-back line for Brigades now. They're trying to run the ball through. Gus Osborne gets that kick forward. He's looking for his teammate there. Looks like Cook all alone on half forward. He swings in onto his left, goes long, looking for Armat Watkins. Why wouldn't you? He's been held, but no, gets away with it. Out comes Roworth. Tries to chip it out to Kobe Simpson. He's under pressure now. And the ball's dribbled over the line and going to be thrown in. Right half forward for Brigades.
Just everywhere they go, Rovers, it seems like Brigades have the answer. They've got the numbers. They're just outworking them with a full four-quarter effort, which is impressive on a day like today.
Yep, ball comes back in. Dylan Ralph through the contest, cops a hit but keeps going, gets the kick forward. Big contest, out comes
Stuart Egan.
Stuart Egan. We haven't seen a lot of Stuart today, but that was a good mark. Charged out at it and took the game. He's looking to go long and direct. Back down the outer side. Can't find Matt Adams in that contest. Through comes, I think it's young Credelli, trying really hard in there in that contest. Can't go anywhere though, and his ball is held up. Half forward line for Brigades. Time ticking away. We're nearly up to 18 minutes gone. There won't be a lot of time on, I don't think, in this quarter, Glenn.
No, only 2 goals scored to Brigades, so you think it might go 21, 22 minutes as Brigades go forward again through Ralph. Gets it up towards Jimmy Hagan. Ball spills out, goes the way of Rovers through Scott, goes the way of Eastoff. Eastoff comes across the ground, finds Stuart Egan. Stuart Egan on half back, looking to get the ball on. Stuart Egan goes back with a short pass, back towards Chris Scott. Chris Scott still in defence. Rovers need to get the ball up the other end. Kick the ball across the ground, keeping possession. Goes the way of the Demons. It goes back towards the player there, and Kane Simpson. Kane kicks it up towards centre wing. Good mark taken by the Rovers player and Clay Azevedo. Clay Azevedo on centre wing. Rovers have got possession, but they're not getting the score on the board as they go against the breeze in this quarter. Ball goes the way of a Rovers Bo Simpson. Bo does well, runs through traffic, goes by hand, finds Gabriel Parfitt. He goes backwards and finds Jack Eastoff. Eastoff throws it on his left boot, kicks it up towards half forward, but once again, the man of the moment in Jesse Castleton takes a very strong mark, kicks it up towards centre wing, puts his teammate under pressure, but the Brigades player stood his ground in Dylan Ralph, feeds it out, and it goes up the ground through Jordan O'Brien, but it comes back to Kane Simpson. He centres the ball, finds Tom Dennett, almost runs into trouble, goes back out there looking for some movement, goes the way of Bernardo. He goes back towards Eastoff. Jack Eastoff gets it on his left boot, looking out there for the young player in Credelli. Ball goes by hand to Tom Denton. Tom Denton kicks it from the forward flank up towards the forward pocket, but whistle on play. Ball is out of bounds, and we're heading towards time on, and Brigades are through to another grand final. Brigades on the Midwest Wind Farm scoreboard lead. Brigades 9-6-60, Rovers are 5-10-40. Both same amount of scoring shots, but Brigades have been more efficient, more effective, had more multiple goal scorers, and the umpire puts the ball into the air, and we're into time on in this final term, with thanks to GT Russell Chartered Accountants on Drennan O'Malley Motors game day. As we see Dwayne Neville screws the ball forward, but there is he again. Jesse Castleton, certainly a contender for the Ross Pudworthington Player of the Day again, and the medal goes out wide and finds another contender, and that is Dylan Ralph. So Dylan Ralph with the ball.
Glenn, I've just been watching Castleton for the last 5 minutes,
yes,
virtually run around behind the ball by himself. So
yes,
Brigades have obviously brought someone out of their forward line,
yes,
dropped an extra back behind the ball and set him up as a loose man. So don't be surprised if he doesn't take a few more intercept marks. Going forward now, Rovers, that's a nice long
big
shot
kick
on goal. I missed... No, it's missed just off to the side again. They just haven't been able to nail their chances today.
And that's what they've been able to do all year, haven't they? They've been able to use that class to nail the ones that they need to. But it is tough conditions today. I'm not saying anything will be easy.
And a lot of their shots have been from
a long way out
or deep in the pockets and that sort of thing. So Brigades have pushed them out and pushed them wide. Ball comes back in now. A contest on half-back flank. And it's taken by, looks like, Lewin Valley again. He's played a really good game between him and Castleton across half-back. They're hard to get past. He goes long out to the centre wing. out towards the boundary, and the ball's going to trickle over again. Yeah, so Brigades have done everything right here. They've really slowed Rovers down. They haven't let Rovers have any sort of run and gun today. And I've just seen Tom Denton's just wandered off the ground, so he's put in a great effort today, but maybe enough's enough at the moment. Brigades come forward again. Dylan Ralph, that man, he's had a great day. He got taken down after the kick, but he's found Jimmy Hagan up forward anyway. Little push and shove. Kobe Simpson, don't do anything silly again. Jamie Hagan goes long in, up towards Deschamps. He can't mark. Jack Eastoff, he's had a great game too. Off to Monardo. He goes back across goals, finds Chris Scott. They just can't come. Here's Castleton again, sitting loose behind the play every time. He's gone long into the middle, but only found Ned Osborne. They've run out of legs, I think, and there's the siren. Brigades are through to another grand final.
Yes, Brigades have done it, and they've done it in pretty emphatic style. And on the Midwest Wind Farm scoreboard, final siren at second semi-final day from Daimler Truck Greenock Oval. And Brigades 9-6-60 have defeated Rovers 5-11-41. And you're tuned to Radio Mama, your home of GNFL football.
You're listening to the GNFL Match of the Day. Thanks to our sponsors.